So, what's the most important aspect or component of a community? Well, it's obviously your community members, right? But community members come in all shapes and sizes. And in this video, we're going to be covering the 10 different types of community members. Now, this is not a hard and fast rule, and it's not necessary like all the members will or should fit into this. A lot of the naming conventions that we've used is just standard practice or from different resources that I've come across. But let's go over the 10 community members, and maybe if you are already running communities, you may be able to identify and categorize your community members within these buckets. So let's go over them quickly. Awesome. So the first kind of member is your newbie, right? These are your newcomers. They just joined your community. They're still trying to figure out what this entire community is all about. What you need to do with them is you need to optimize the welcome experience, right? The onboarding needs to be smooth. They may be overwhelmed. They may not know what's happening. So it's your job as a community manager to help these guys and give them a wonderful experience in the start itself. Make valuable content front and center. What does that mean? That means the most important things that that would help quicken their onboarding process and go from being a newbie to a regular. Keep that kind of content easily accessible and easily available. Make these resources, like I mentioned, the valuable content and other community resources like your rules, like your community guidelines, like your community mission statement. Make them easily, readily available so that they can go over them again and again. So that's your first kind of member. Those are your newcomers. They're your newbies. The second kind of member is your regular. Now, these are the community participants who participate in community discussions quite often. What we do with them is we encourage the model behavior, and these are the guys that help sustain discussions. So they're very important. They're the most common type of members. They're called the regulars. Another very common type of member are your lurkers. In fact, there's this rule that when you're building communities, there are three types of members, and it's called the 99 and 1 rule. So how this goes is they say that 1% or 1% of the entire community is the one that speaks or leads a discussion. Then you have 9% who participate in the discussion, who engage with that 1%, the leader or the content creator. And then you have 90% of the community who are just there to watch. These guys don't participate, they just browse the content. So what you need to do with them is understand why they're lurking, right? Why are they lurking? Is there something? What is stopping them from actually participating? You want to welcome them. And sometimes, there have been case studies where you encourage lurkers, or you have special events only for lurkers, just to understand them and, make them feel a part of home. You want to introduce the community culture. If they are not engaging with you because they don't feel that connect, you want to start introducing them to that community culture, and you want to make them feel accepted. So those are with your lurkers. Now the next one is your salty veteran. A veteran is obviously a long timer. He knows everything in this community. He's one of your OG members. He's been there, done that. So he's a long timer and he holds authority status. For them, they want to build their authority. And what you need to do for them is you need to understand that they were there for you since the early days. So you respect their time. And most of their contributions, because they have been going through, because they understand your community so well, they're going to be high value contributions. So take that into credit. And the next one is another hugely important part of your community, and those are your advocates. These guys, they're the ones that no matter what you do, they'll defend you. Right? Either for the good or the bad, but most of the time they're there. They're the ones who got your back, and they're there to equip you. What you want to do is, you want to encourage them, you want to help them, you want to get good feedback from them, right? You want to know that, okay, sometimes these guys might always just be yes men. So you need to also segment the feedback. You don't want to get into that kind of loop or in a bubble where everyone just says yes. That could be one of the problems with advocates. So you need to understand and segment them based on, are they really telling me the truth, or are they just always saying yes to no matter what I do? Sometimes they can be overzealous. So it's more like they're excited, right? Because they've been part of that journey and you guys have grown. So they're excited about it. So you need to understand how to play it because they're very important to your community. Another very important member in your community are the helpers. Now, these are the guys, they don't care about what they're getting. This is just a way for them to give back. I've seen so many beautiful people who actually have been part of our community who just want to always just give back, and they don't ask much. Generally, you also don't want to ask much from them. It's not their job, and you don't want to, tell them, give them their space. Don't ask them too much. Give them tasks and responsibilities, like give them things like, hey, checklist, hey, you can do this, and encourage that kind of a model behavior. Appreciate that, encourage that. Now, the last four, there are people that, kind of tricky. The last four kind of members, and how you handle them is a little, you need, you're walking on very thin wire with these guys. The first one is obviously the troll. These are the guys, all they want to do is create some disruption, right? They want attention, and all they're doing is they live off the strong emotional reactions of others. So they're doing this for attention. What you want to do with them is you want to troll the trolls. So you want to ask them a clarifying question. Most often they'll probably throw in some statements, some remark, try to offend you. So what you want to do is clarify. This is where, the whole Gandhi statement comes in, where it's like if someone slaps you with one cheek, you turn the other one and you show. So you do that, but you also, you do that and understand that no matter what you say, they're going to catch you on that. So be clever about it. Most often you just need to ban them because there's no point in entertaining them. So do it politely, but if they do show recurring behavior, immediately ban them. And also consider removing all their contributions in the past. So this puts them off like a social pariah, and most people, if it discourages, sets a precedence to other people also, showing that if you behave like a troll, all the social capital that you've gained so far is all going to vanish. So that's how you deal with trolls. The other one is your antagonist. Now, an antagonist, they're not trolls. They're not doing it for the emotional reactions, but they're strong communicators. They're aggressive communicators, and they like to cause some form of disruption in the entire thing. It could be for the good, for the bad, but you need to tell these guys, hey, that what you're doing right here, that's not the norm. That's not what normally happens. So maybe you want to calm things down a little bit. And if you have put in something that's offending to other community members, please remove them. Otherwise, you'll have to remove it yourself. With these guys, you need to be very strategic. Unlike the trolls, just banning them does not do the job, because most of the times they might be playing it safe too. So with these guys, what you can do is take a screenshot of the comment or whatever they did that's offending or aggressive. Take that to a private channel and be like, what you said here, you could have reframed it in a much better way. You could have said it in a much better way and still gotten the same kind of effect, because this is the way we generally communicate with the rest of the members. That's the norm, and you're kind of disrupting that. The ninth kind of member is your know-it-all. Now, he is a guy who has an opinion on anything. You launch a new feature, he has, okay, this is good, that is not good. You come up with a new, idea, a new strategy. He's like, hey, he has an opinion for that. No matter what you do, this guy has an opinion for everything. Again, for him, what you need to do, very similar to with the antagonist, you need to tell them that, hey, dude, or dudette, this is not the norm. This is not what we generally encourage in a platform like this. And if they want to say something, you know that they're going to give opinions no matter what. So be like, sure, you'd love to get your opinion, but let's do it in a private channel. And the last one is your cult leader. Cult leaders, You might wonder, right? It's a community. Aren't communities built of cult leaders? Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons that cult leaders are important. They are leaders. In fact, they have strong leadership potential. But with these guys, so because they're very important, you want to handle with care. The only thing is how you can, no matter what you do, like, because they have strong social capital within the community, you need to handle them with care. And I think the best way that you can probably direct their actions is through gamification, right? Give them some gamification, give them some rewards, because that's something that they're probably looking forward. They like extrinsic rewards. So maybe having some gamification and, those kind of elements will help you deal with the cult leader. So that's about it. Those are the 10 different types of community members. Could you identify all of them? If not, are there members that you couldn't identify with? Then leave them in the comments and let me know.